Most people think attraction is loud, flirty words, dramatic gestures, or bold moves, but the truth is, the strongest signs are often the quietest. You just have to know what to look for. In today's video, we'll explore 10 subtle body language signs that reveal when a woman is genuinely drawn to you, not physically but emotionally. These signs come from a place of respect, comfort, and natural alignment, not games or manipulation. I fear someone who values meaningful connection over shallow attention. You'll want to watch this all the way through. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel for more daily videos on Stoic wisdom, psychology, and how to build presence with dignity and self-respect. Let's get into ETH. Maintains extended comfortable eye contact. Number 1. He maintains extended comfortable eye contact. When a man maintains steady and relaxed eye contact, it often says far more than words ever could in today's fast-paced and distracted world. Looking someone in the eyes with calm presence is rare and deeply impactful. This subtle behavior is often misunderstood, but when done sincerely, it carries layers of meaning that speak to emotional intelligence, self-assurance, and genuine interest. Let's explore why this particular behavior matters so much and what it reveals about a man's mindset, character, and intentions. It signals presence, not pretense. Extended but comfortable eye contact isn't about trying to impress, it's about showing up fully in the moment. When Aman maintains this kind of gaze, he's demonstrating that he isn't distracted, emotionally scattered, or half-invested in the interaction. His attention isn't drifting to his phone, the environment, or rehearsed responses. Instead, he's showing that he's present mentally, emotionally, and socially. This presence is powerful. It tells the other person, I see you, I'm not rushing through this. And that creates an atmosphere where meaningful connection can unfold naturally. It reflects inner calm and emotional stability. People who are emotionally unsettled often avoid eye contact or make it too intense, but when a man has taken the time to understand and regulate his own emotions, his gaze becomes an extension of that inner calm, not trying to dominate the conversation or signal superiority. He's simply steady, comfortable eye contact reflects a man's ability to be still with another person's presence without feeling threatened or awkward. That sense of balance is both grounding and rare. It builds trust without saying a word. Humans instinctively gauge sincerity through the eyes. That's why people say things like, look me in the eye, when they want the truth. Eye contact, when done sincerely, builds a bridge between two people. It sends a message of openness, trustworthiness, and authenticity. If a man maintains extended eye contact with a sense of ease, it suggests he has nothing to hide. He's emotionally available in that moment, not guarded or closed off. Trust begins here, not with grand promises, but with consistent presence. It encourages comfort and openness in others. Calm eye contact has a soothing effect. When someone is being truly seen and not judged, they tend to open up. If Aman maintains this kind of gentle, consistent gaze, it helps the other person feel accepted, valued, and safe to express themselves. This is particularly important in moments of vulnerability. A supportive gaze can hold space for difficult conversations, personal stories, or moments of uncertainty without needing to interrupt or over-explain. He creates emotional room for the other person to simply be. It shows that he's not performing. He's listening. In a world full of performative interactions, where many speak just to reply or impress, eye contact becomes a subtle act of resistance. It shows the man isn't trying to prove something, he's genuinely listening. His eye contact doesn't shift toward what he's going to say next. Instead, it follows the rhythm of what the other person is saying without interrupting or breaking connection. That kind of listening builds a strong foundation of mutual respect and interest. It signals quiet confidence, not arrogance. Confidence isn't loud, it doesn't need to shout, boast, or fill every silence. When a man is quietly confident, it shows up in how he holds eye contact with gentleness, steadiness, and authenticity. He's not trying to impress or seek approval. He simply is calm, grounded, and at ease with himself, and people notice not because he's trying to be noticed, but because his energy feels trustworthy and reflects a Stoic approach to relationships and emotions. Stoicism teaches emotional discipline, self-awareness, and clarity of thought. A man who embraces this way of life isn't reactive, he's reflective. Eye contact, for him, is not about control, it's about alignment. He looks someone in the eye not to read them or sway them, but to meet them where they are with full awareness and presence. He is not flustered by emotions, nor driven by impulse. His gaze is steady because he is steady. Because he is steady, her posture opens around you. Number 2, her posture opens around you. What it really means when someone's posture changes in your presence, especially if it becomes more relaxed, open, or engaged, it can signal a lot more than comfort in psychology. Body language is often an unconscious expression of how we feel. One of the clearest, yet often overlooked signs of emotional connection is how a person physically carries themselves when you're around. In the case of a woman whose posture opens up around you, this may not be a calculated move, rather it's a reflection of her comfort, trust, and subtle emotional investment. Let's dive into the core reasons behind this shift in body language and what it reveals without relying on any romantic or physical assumption. She feels emotionally safe with you. One of the most foundational reasons a woman's posture opens around you is that she feels emotionally safe in your presence. Emotional safety is a sense of being accepted, understood, and not judged. It's the feeling that she doesn't need to brace herself for criticism, misunderstanding. When a woman feels emotionally secure, her body tends to reflect that inner calm. She may release tension in her shoulders, stand or sit more naturally, uncross her arms or legs, not as a signal but as a natural response to comfort. This is a deep sign of trust, not necessarily toward you as a romantic interest, but as a grounded, respectful presence in her life. Her guard, eyes lowered even if she doesn't realize it. Everyone has subtle defenses in how they carry themselves. Some people keep their arms tightly crossed, their bodies slightly turned away, or their stance rigid when they feel uncertain or guarded. When a woman's posture starts to soften, open, and relax around you, it may reflect that she no longer feels the need to shield herself. This doesn't mean she's letting you in romantically. It means she's letting down walls that were unprotective. She's allowing her authentic self to surface in your presence, and that is a powerful form of respect and connection. Your presence helps her be present. Many people walk through the day with their minds somewhere else, anxious, distracted, burdened, but when she opens up her posture around you, it could mean you're one of the rare people who help her feel grounded in the moment. Maybe she listens more deeply, stands still a little longer, or turns her full attention toward you. These shifts in posture reflect how she's no longer in defense mode or rushing to be elsewhere. You help her feel anchored in a world full of distraction. That's rare and meaningful. She's comfortable being herself when a woman is around someone she doesn't feel the need to impress or perform for. Her body relaxes into its natural rhythm instead of posing or being overly aware of how she looks or appears. She becomes again more expressive, more fluid, more natural. Her posture opening up might simply mean she's not wearing a metaphorical mask around you. There's no pressure, no pretense. That kind of comfort is something people don't fake. It grows naturally over time, in environments where they feel seen and accepted. She trusts the space you create. Some people walk into a room and bring tension with them. Others create calm. If her posture opens when you're around, she may trust the atmosphere you bring with you. Perhaps it's in your tone of voice, air, listening skills, or your calm demeanor. Whatever the cause, she doesn't feel the need to be on high alert. This is especially important if she mirrors your movements, more reserved around others. The fact that her posture becomes more open in your presence might be one of few physical cues that she's letting her guard down, and it's likely something she's not even consciously aware of. You're giving her space to express herself freely. Body language often mirrors internal emotions. When someone is emotionally constricted, their posture tends to tighten. When they feel heard, respected, or inspired, they tend to open up physically and mentally. If her arms looser at her sides, if she leans in a little more, or if she gestures more freely, it may be because you've given her space, not just physically but emotionally. You don't interrupt. You didn't invalidate her thoughts, you let her speak and feel, and her after response to that allowance. Number 3, she mirrors your movements naturally. What it really means in human behavior. Few signs of connection are as subtle yet powerful as mirroring. It's not loud, it's not flashy, and most of the time, it happens without anyone realizing. When a woman begins to mirror your movements naturally, it isn't a sign of mimicry or playfulness. It's a deep indicator that she feels aligned with you emotionally. This article will break down what it truly means when she reflects your eye, body language, tone, or rhythm, and why it speaks volumes about the psychological and emotional rapport between two people. What is mirroring? Mirroring is a subconscious behavior where one person copies the gestures, posture, or verbal patterns of another. It's a sign of rapport. something people do when they feel comfortable, safe, or emotionally in tune with someone else. In the context of a developing connection, mirroring is often unintentional. She doesn't do it to impress you, it just happens, and that's what makes it summoningful, why she mirrors you without even realizing it. Emotional alignment. Mirroring reflects more than just surface-level attention, it reveals emotional harmony. 1. She adjusts her posture shortly after you do, or suddenly echoes your tone or pacing during conversation. It suggests that her internal state is resonating with yours. This isn't about manipulation or flirtation, it's about syncing up emotionally. She may not even realize she's doing it, and that's the beauty of it. It's natural. It's as if her nervous system recognizes safety and openness in your presence. She feels comfortable with you. One of the clearest signs of comfort is relaxed behavior. Mirroring happens when she no longer feels the need to put up a front. 2. Don't need to impress her or force a vibe. Your presence alone encourages her to lower her guard, which allows this subtle form of connection to unfold. For example, if you lean slightly forward during a heartfelt story and moments later she does the same, she's not analyzing her every move. She simply feels emotionally safe enough to follow your rhythm. It signals mutual respect. Mirroring often indicates admiration, not in a romantic or intense way, but in a human, respectful way. People tend to align their movements and pace with those they respect or value. It's a sign that she sees you as someone worth being present with, not for what you offer materially but for who you are in your presence. She's deeply engaged. When someone is fully present in a conversation, they're not just listening, they're absorbing. If she mirrors your hand gestures, leans in when you do, or nods in similar timing, she's likely not distracted. Her mind and body are focused on the interaction at hand. It's not about agreement, it's about genuine attention. She's not waiting to talk, she's with you in the moment. Trust is building. Trust isn't declared, it shows up in small ways. One of those ways is unconscious body language alignment. When she mirrors you, it's a subconscious way of saying, I'm with you, not against you. This doesn't mean she agrees with everything, but it does mean she feels safe enough to follow your lead in energy and expression. There's no rush or performance. When a woman feels truly at ease, her pace begins to match yours. She doesn't rush. If you gesture gently, she does the same. These moments aren't planned, they emerge naturally when both people feel they can be themselves. You may not even notice until ITA, and that's often how emotional connection works. It's felt before it's seen. It reflects emotional safety, not strategy. Importantly, mirroring isn't something someone does to get your attention in a world where performative behavior is common. Mirroring stands out because it's quiet. She may not realize she's doing it, and it's not to gain approval. It's simply what happens when two people are on the same frequency, emotionally and mentally. This is especially powerful if you're someone who values authenticity. Mirroring is a signal that the interaction is real, not forced, not scripted. It often precedes verbal vulnerability. Before people open up emotionally with their words, they often open up with their bodies. Mirroring can be a kind of gateway. It may come before she begins to share more deeply, speak more openly, or express more personally. So if you notice her naturally beginning to reflect your mannerisms, pace, or posture, pay attention. It may mean she's about to open up further because she feels safe to do so. Number 4, her smile appears effortless and often, and here's what that really means. There's something quietly powerful about a smile that shows up without being forced. When a woman smiles often and with ease around you, it's not just about facial expressions or politeness. It says a great deal about the environment you create, the level of comfort she feels, and even the unspoken bond that may be forming. This kind of smell isn't about charm or flirtation. It's about safety, ease, and a genuine emotional state. Let's break down the deeper reasons why her smile might appear natural, warm, and frequent in your presence without making assumptions or crossing any boundaries. She feels emotionally safe around you. An effortless smile is often a byproduct of feeling emotionally secure. When a woman she feels safe around you doesn't feel judged, rushed, or pressured. Her body language reflects that inner calm. Her smile in this case is a subconscious response to the safety your presence offers. You may not even be doing anything out of the ordinary. It might be your calm demeanor, your consistent respect, or simply how you listen without interrupting that creates this environment. She's not smiling to impress. She's smiling because she can. She's not smiling to impress. Around you, you bring out her lighter side. Some people just have a way of unlocking the softer, more joyful parts of someone's personality. You find that she laughs more easily, or smiles more freely around you. It might be because you bring a kind of lightness into the conversation. Maybe it's the way you notice little things. Maybe it's how you never take yourself too seriously. Whatever it is, her frequent smile suggests that she can be her natural self, relaxed and genuine in your company. This isn't about being funny, it's about being easy to be around. She's present in the moment. A natural smile often comes from being rooted in the present. When she's truly engaged, not distracted by her phone worries or rehearsing her next sentence, her responses are more honest. Her smile, thinness, a real-time reaction, not a social obligation. It reflects that she's with you, mentally and emotionally, not just physically. You may notice that when you speak, she doesn't just hear you. She listens, and when she smiles, it's in response to something she actually felt, not something she faked. There's no need for pretending in environments where people feel the need to put on a mask to seem more impressive, more polished, or more guarded. Smiles often feel rehearsed or forced. When her smile flows naturally, and often it's easily, a sign that she's not performing. She's not trying to seem happy. She is happy, or at least at peace. This often points to an unspoken trust, acquiescent assurance that she can be her real unfiltered self, and still be received with kindness and dignity. She genuinely enjoys the conversations. Not all smiles are about how she feels about you specifically. Sometimes they're about how she feels about the moment you've both created. Maybe you've touched on a topic she loves. Maybe your shared curiosity sparks something in her when she smiles. Often, it can reflect her enjoyment of the conversation itself, the rhythm, the content, the flow. This kind of reaction isn't calculated or manipulated. It's spontaneous and simple, like a breath of fresh air. Your energy doesn't overwhelm her. Some people exude energy that is aggressive, intense, or overwhelming. Others radiate a sense of balance. They didn't push too hard or demand too much. If her smile is frequent and unforced, it might be because your energy leaves space for hers. You don't fill every silence. You don't rush to impress. You allow her to simply be, and that space, that calmness, creates room for warmth to grow, and for her smile to appear. Without force, she's not guarding herself when people are tense. They're often on alert, watching what they say, checking their tone and managing their image. But when she smiles naturally, and often, it's usually a sign she's not on guard. Her body isn't bracing for judgment or awkwardness. Instead, she's emotionally open, even if quietly. This doesn't mean she's overly expressive or emotionally exposed. It just means her defenses aren't up, and that's often a result of how you treat her with consistency, density, and respect. She feels understood, not just hard. When someone feels truly understood, it's hard to fake the emotional reaction. It comes out in their face, their eyes, and yes, in their smile. If your words, tone, or quiet empathy make her feel like you gather, even in small ways, her smile will likely show up without effort. Being understood is rare, and when it happens, it naturally brings warmth to the surface. You see that human, not just the role. Often people feel reduced to a label, a job title, a stereotype, a societal expectation. But when you treat someone as a whole person with curiosity, depth, no agenda, their reactions change. A smile that shows up often might because she feels seen beyond surface level attributes. She's not being treated like a type, she's being related to as a human being, and in a world full of superficial attention, that depth creates a sense of appreciation, which often shows itself through a genuine smile. Number 5, she tilts her head slightly while listening to you, and here's what that really means. In the world of nonverbal communication, subtle movements often speak louder than words. One of the quietest yet most telling gestures a woman can make when she's genuinely interested or emotionally engaged is tilting her head slightly while listening to you. It may seem insignificant on the surface, but this simple motion holds powerful psychological meaning. It's not flirting, it's not performance, it's connection. Let's break it down in detail. A signal of emotional attunement. When someone tilts their head while listening, it's often a subconscious signal that they are fully present and emotionally attuned to what's being said, rather than just hearing your words. They're feeling your tone, your meaning, and the emotion behind what you're expressing. A slight tilt of the head often goes hand in hand with soft eye contact and a calm facial expression. This body language says, I'm listening to you, not just your words, but what's underneath them. In a world where most people are waiting for their turn to speak, this kind of listening is rare and meaningful, an indication of safety and openness. The act of tilting the head exposes the neck, which is one of the most vulnerable areas of the body. Psychologically, we do this only when we feel safe and open in someone's presence. While it may not be a conscious decision, it shows a level of comfort and vulnerability. In simpler terms, she doesn't feel the need to protect herself. Around you, this kind of body language typically emerges when two people are building mutual trust. She's relaxed, unguarded, and willing to be herself, a sign of curiosity and genuine interest. People who are curious or mentally engaged often tilt their heads slightly as they absorb information. This movement is tied to our natural instinct to focus more deeply on what's being said. It's as if the body leans in emotionally, even if physically it remains in place. So if she tilts her head while you speak, it may reflect sincere curiosity about your thoughts or perspective, a desire to connect more deeply, and appreciation for the conversation's depth or honesty. It's a cue that says, I want to understand you better. She tilts her head, she feels seen, and is showing you the same. Head tilting often happens in moments of shared understanding. If you're speaking with calmness, honesty, and clarity, and she responds with a gentle tilt, it's likely because she resonates with what you're saying. It's one of those moments where two people feel emotionally aligned, even if nothing big or dramatic is happening. That slight tilt may be her quiet way of saying, I get it, I see where you're coming from. It's empathy in motion. She's giving you her undivided attention. Distractions are everywhere: phones, noise, internal thoughts. So when someone gives you their full presence, it shows up not just in their words but in the small things: posture, stillness, and head position. A tilted head often comes with focused eye contact, light, leaning forward, pausing to listen instead of interrupting. All of this adds up to a powerful message. You're not being ignored, you're being valued. It reflects her comfort with emotional vulnerability. Sometimes when we talk about personal matters, hopes, struggles, reflections, a listener may tilt their head without even realizing it. This gesture softens the space. It makes the environment feel safer, warmer, and more accepting. If a woman consistently responds this way to your deeper thoughts, it likely means she's emotionally receptive, not just to your words but to you as a person. This isn't about attraction in a surface sense. It's about emotional connection and shared authenticity. It creates a softening in the interactions. There's something deeply human about a head tilt. It tends to diffuse any tension, strip away pretense, and make the moment feel more sincere. You might be discussing something lighter, something meaningful, and the tilt shows she's present with how you're saying it, not just what you're saying. That's the mark of someone who listens with their whole self, a gesture of respect and attention. Above all, when a woman tilts her head slightly while listening to you, it often means she is offering you something that many overlook in our modern world: respectful attention in conversations. Today many people multitask or listen passively, but she's leaning in mentally and emotionally through posture and presence. That's no small thing. Number 6, she often finds reasons to be near you. There's a quiet kind of attention that doesn't demand your notice, yet consistently gravitates toward you. When a woman is drawn to you, whether emotionally, intellectually, or energetically, she often shows it, not through bold declarations, but through her presence. She simply finds ways to be near you. This isn't always conscious. It's not about chasing seduction or flirting. It's about a subtle, almost instinctive magnetism. She starts choosing your company more frequently. She sits closer, stands nearby, or happens to walk beside you, even if there's no real reason to. This doesn't come from a place of neediness. It often comes from curiosity, admiration, or quiet trust. Let's unpack the deeper reasons behind this gentle pull. What it really means when she often finds reasons to be near you. She feels emotionally safe around you. One of the clearest signs of connectress when someone consistently gravitates toward your presence, not because they have to, but because they want to. If a woman feels emotionally safe with you, your presence becomes something of a refuge. She may not say it aloud, but your calm energy, your consistency, and your non-judgmental attitude might be what draws her in. People naturally move toward what feels steady and genuine. If she's often near you, she may be responding to that emotional grounding you bring. She values the unspoken moments. She often finds reasons to be near you. Sometimes it's not about the conversation, it's about simply being next to someone who makes silence feel full instead of awkward. If she keeps showing up where you are or lingering in your company without needing to fill this space with words, She may be expressing trust and presence in its purest forms. This kind of closeness isn't performative, it's restful. It speaks to a comfort level that doesn't require constant stimulation. She doesn't need to impress you, she just wants to be near. She's curious about your world. Another reason she might find ways to be near you is simple curiosity, not in a nosy way but in a quiet desire to understand how you move through the world. Maybe she finds herself standing nearby when you're talking to others or choosing a seat near you in a group setting. These are small signs that she's paying attention to your energy, your thoughts, and your way of being. Proximity is often a subconscious way of learning. If she admires the way you carry yourself, she may position herself closer, not to get your attention but to observe and understand more about who you really are. She's drawn to your energy even without realizing it. Sometimes we gravitate with certain people without having the words to explain why. It could be your calm demeanor, your sense of purpose, your quiet strength. When a woman keeps ending up near you, she may be responding to an unspoken energy that resonates with her. It's not always romantic, it's often about alignment. In your presence might make her feel more at peace, more inspired, or more at home. Energy doesn't need permission to move, it just does. And when someone's energy makes you feel centered, you tend to move closer. She notices how she feels in your presence. People remember how others make them feel. If she consistently feels more like herself, more at ease, or even more hopeful when you're around, she begins to seek out your presence intentionally or not. She may not say, "I feel better when I'm near you," but her actions will say it. She'll show up where you are, she'll linger longer. She'll opt to walk your way when leaving. It's a way of quietly affirming you add something meaningful to my experience. 6. You offer a different kind of, when most people are trying to impress, dominate, or fill every silence, someone who simply listens, who observes, who gives space, stands out. If you offer this kind of respectful presence, she may be drawn toward it. You might not compliment her constantly. You might not even speak much, but your quiet awareness, your ability to notice without needing to control or chase, may make her feel truly seen. And when someone feels seen, they want to stay closer. Trusts you with her silence. Proximity isn't just about conversation, it's about who we can be silent with. If she often finds herself next to you during moments when nothing needs to be said, that speaks volumes. People don't line into silence unless they feel safe. If she's choosing to simply be nearby without needing to fill the air, that means she finds your presence grounding you. Don't make her feel pressured. You don't require her to perform, you allow her to just be. That's powerful. She's comfortable letting her guard down. She plays with her jewelry or hair. Proximity can also be a form of vulnerability. Being near someone regularly means allowing them to see your expressions, your habits, your real-time emotions. If she chooses to spend time close to you, even in casual or everyday moments, it could mean she's letting go of the need to keep up appearances. She trusts that you won't misuse her presence. That kind of comfort doesn't come easily. When it's there, it means a great deal. Number 7. She plays with her jewelry or hair thoughtfully. When you notice a woman gently adjusting her necklace or softly brushing a strand of hair behind her ear while talking to you, it might be easy to overlook it or misinterpret it. But if you look closely, this behavior often carries more depth than you'd expect. These are not just idle gestures. When done in a thoughtful and non-performative way, they often reflect a subtle blend of self-awareness, emotional sensitivity, and internal processing. Let's break it down with clarity and respect without reducing it to cliché or stereotypia. Sign of inner awareness. In the moment when someone gently touches their hair or jewelry during a meaningful conversation, it's often an unconscious sign of self-awareness. It can indicate that just suddenly tuned into how she feels in your presence. That small gesture may represent the beginning of vulnerability. Being aware not just of the interaction but of how she's being perceived in it. It's not necessarily about appearance. It's about presence. She might not even realize she's doing it. Soothing or calming reflex. Tushingoni's hair or jewelry can serve as a calming mechanism, just like someone might click a pen or fidget with a ring when they're nervous or excited. Woman might gently adjust her earring or necklace to soothe herself. When she does this while engaged in a conversation with you, it could be her way of grounding herself emotionally. If she values your opinion or feels something meaningful is happening between you, a subtle shift in emotional energy. This behavior can signal that the emotional tone of the moment has shifted. Maybe The conversation became more personal. Maybe your presence feels comforting. That small movement, tucking hair back or glancing at her bracelet, can be her way of releasing some of that emotional energy while still staying present with you. It's quiet, non-verbal communication that says, "I'm here, I feel this moment." It shows she's listening actively and emotionally. You may notice this happens more when she's deeply listening, not distracted. If her eyes stay on you while subtly touches her necklace or fidgets with a ring, it may be a tactile expression of how deeply she's absorbing what you're saying. Her body language mirrors her inner emotional involvement, not detachment until nervousness, but in a good way. This isn't the kind of nervousness that makes someone want to flee a situation. It's the kind that suggests she cares about how she comes across. The thoughtful playing with a piece of jewelry might be a physical outlet for that emotional energy, a kind of quiet flutter that says, "This moment matters to me." This doesn't mean she's anxious. It often means she's invested. Not about vanity but emotional clarity. It's easy to wrongly assume that playing with hair or adjusting jewelry is about vanity, but when done slowly, absently, and during emotionally significant interactions, it often reflects internal emotional organization. Think of it like someone gently tapping their fingers while thinking. It's not about the fingers, it's about the thoughts behind them. A nonverbal form of expression. Not everyone expresses connection or interest with words. Some people express themselves through micro movements. These gestures, when accompanied by soft facial expressions and sustained engagement, reflect sincerity. She may be saying more with her quiet gestures than she ever would out loud. Indicates she's comfortable enough to be herself. When someone feels tense or guarded, they usually minimize movement. They stiffen up. But if a woman is gently moving, her hands adjusting her necklace without looking away, or brushing back her hair without breaking the flow of conversation, it often signals she's not only comfortable with you but with herself. In your presence, it's often not about you, and that's the beauty of it. Sometimes she's simply being herself. She might be processing her thoughts or just relaxing into the moment. That, in itself, is a sign of trust. When a woman feels safe enough around you to let her natural gestures emerge, it's a reflection of emotional ease. You're witnessing a version of her that she doesn't perform for the world, only foretoes. She feels calm around. It's the little things that speak the loudest. People often look for big, bold signs of interest or emotional connection, but the truth is, these gentle movements, the light adjustments, the thoughtful touches, where the real meaning lives. They're often missed because they're not dramatic, but to the emotionally aware, they speak volumes. Number 8, her feet point toward you. If the rest of her isn't human, communication goes far beyond words. In fact, many of the most honest unspoken revealed in subtle shifts in posture, small movements, and especially body orientation of the least noticed yet most telling body language signals is the direction of a person's feet. When a woman's feet are pointed toward you, even if her torso is angled elsewhere, or she appears otherwise preoccupied, it can quietly signal interest, comfort, or emotional openness. This isn't about attraction in the romantic sense alone. It can reveal deeper signs of malignant interest and psychological presence. Let's explore the psychology behind this small but significant gesture. The feet reflect subconscious intentions. Most people are skilled at managing facial expressions or controlling what their hands are doing, but our feet not so much. The direction our feet naturally turn toward often bypasses conscious control. That's why it's so telling when a woman's feet point toward you, even if her eyes are looking somewhere else, or her arms are crossed. It may reveal where her real focus lies. Means you have her attention at a foundational body level. Instinct. Her orientation, quite literally, is toward you. Orientation shows openness in social psychology. Body orientation is a key marker of openness or reservation. Facing someone with both the upper and lower body communicates full attention and emotional engagement. But even when someone isn't fully facing you, if their feet remain angled toward you, it signals they're still mentally and emotionally with you. If a woman stands in a groove but her feet are angled in your direction even while she speaks to others, it may reflect an unspoken sense of ease or connection with you. Her body is subtly telling you, "I feel aligned here." 3. She may not even realize is doing it. This is part of what makes this body language so powerful. It's usually unintentional. She's not trying to send a signal. Her body just naturally orients itself toward what feels interesting, safe, or grounding. That could be you, whether it's in a hallway conversation, at a social gathering, or during a casual moment in a cafe. This unconscious cue speaks volumes. Her mind might be on the conversation, but her body may already have made a quiet decision about who she trusts or values. Being near it shows who holds her emotional gravity. Think of it like a compass. The feet often point toward where we feel most grounded. If her feet keep turning toward you, even as she moves or talks elsewhere, it's as if her internal compass keeps coming back to you. That doesn't always mean romantic interest. It might mean emotional safety, deep comfort, or shared respect in a world of distractions where people's attention can scatter easily. Her subtle orientation can mean she subconsciously finds a sense of calm or value in your presence. You're a safe presence in her environment. Sometimes the feet reveal more about how she feels than what she thinks. Pointing her feet toward you can be her body's quiet way of saying, I feel okay here, I feel seen, I feel balanced, especially in settings where people might feel nervous or overwhelmed, such as group settings or new environments. Subtle movement is often a clue that you bring a sense of quiet security. To her, she might not verbalize it, but her feet may show it. It's a marker of comfort in social situations. If a woman points her feet toward you when sitting or standing, it can be a sign that she feels relaxed and unguarded around you. In contrast, when someone feels uneasy there, BAFTA often turns away slightly, as a nonverbal form of self-protection. Foot placement is often an early indicator of where a person wants to direct their focus or flee. So when her feet remain pointed toward you, even when she's distracted or talking with others, it can reflect that you offer a stable center in her environment. It can appear even when she tries to hide her feelings. Some women may be more reserved or private about their emotions. They may not show obvious signs of warmth or interest, but the body doesn't lie, even if she tries to mask her feelings, perhaps staying cool, neutral, or professional. Her foot placement may betray something deeper. That slight angling toward you might be the one sign she hasn't consciously covered. In that case, it's less about what she's saying and more about what she can't help but express. Consistency is key. One instance of foot pointing might be coincidence, but if you notice this happening repeatedly across different interactions, environments, and moments, it becomes more meaningful. Does she consistently orient toward you, even when she's busy or focused elsewhere? Slow down around you though. Her feet keep finding their way in your direction, as if by default. These erring patterns speak to your consistent place in her awareness. Number 9. Her movements slow down around you, and it means more than you think. In a world that's always rushing, always moving, always pulling our attention in a dozen different directions, it's rare to find someone who slows down, not because they're tired, but because of who they're with. When a woman's movements begin to slow down around you, it's not just a random change in pace. It can be a subconscious signal that you've created a space where she feels safe, present, and at ease. It's easy to overlook. After all, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, but if you pay close attention, you'll notice there's a quiet shift in how she carries herself, and that shift speaks volumes. Let's explore exactly what this slowing down can mean and why it matters so much. It's a sign of comfort and safety. When someone feels anxious, threatened, or uncomfortable, their body tends to speed up. Quick movements, fidgeting, darting glances, all of these are subtle signs of nervous energy or even a desire to exit the situation. But when a woman's movements become slower and more fluid around you, when she sets down her coffee, gently folds her hands calmly, or leans in with intention, it reflects a deeper truth. She doesn't feel like she has to rush. With you, her nervous system isn't in fight or flight mode, it's at rest. You've created an environment of emotional safety that's rare, and it's powerful. Feels present in the moment. When someone is caught up in the past or worried about the future of their body, language often reflects that mental chaos. They speak quickly, move fast, or appear distracted. But when she's around you and her pace slows, it's often a signal that she's fully in the momentous, not just present physically. She's emotionally and mentally grounded too. She's tuned in, attentive, and aware. Your presence has quieted the noise of the world for a little while. You've become a space where she can breathe, and just by her body reflects emotional regulation. People don't always realize how much their emotions are reflected through their body. When someone is overwhelmed emotionally, whether it's excitement, stress, or discomfort, it shows up physically. But when a woman's emotions begin to regulate in your presence, her body does the same. Her breathing becomes slower, her gestures more intentional, her pace more reflective. This doesn't necessarily mean she's falling in love. It doesn't mean she's romantically interested, but it does mean she trusts space between you, and that Trust is foundational to any genuine human connection. You make her feel understood without rush. When someone feels like they're being listened to deeply, they tend to pause more. Their tone softens, their words become more thoughtful, and their body relaxes. If you notice that she speaks a little more slowly around you, that her hands rest more than they move, or that she listens without interrupting or fidgeting, it's likely because you've shown her that you understand her, or at the very least, that you're trying to understand her. That kind of attentiveness slows everything down. It replaces pressure with presence. She doesn't feel the need to perform. We live in a world where people often feel like they have to be on to entertain and keep energy high to be accepted, but when she slows down around you, it's a sign that she doesn't feel that need. She doesn't have to fill every silence with words. She doesn't have to prove anything. This is a clear indicator of trust. You're not just someone she's talking to, you're someone she can be real with. That level of authenticity doesn't come easily. If her pace softens around you, it's likely because she feels like she can let her guard down. Slower movements, deeper emotional awareness. She slows down. It may also be because she's becoming more aware not just of you but of herself. Slower pacing often allows a person to reflect more deeply on what they're feeling. She may pause before answering a question. She may respond with more nuanced. Her gestures might take on a sense of grace or quiet confidence. This emotional awareness shows that your presence isn't just being tolerated, it's being valued. She's listening on multiple levels. Quick conversations are often when she slows down, when her eyes stay with yours, when she lets a few seconds of silence exist between thoughts. It suggests she's listening beyond the words. She's hearing tonations, noticing emotion. She's engaged in a full body, full-hearted way. This type of listening can only happen when there's mutual respect and genuine interest. Her stillness isn't blank, it's rich with attention. Number 10. She gives you undivided attention, and it means more than you think in a world of constant distraction. One of the most meaningful ways someone can show interest, care, or respect is by offering their full attention. When a woman gives you her undivided attention, it's not just about good manners or being polite. It often speaks volumes about her deeper connection, curiosity, or sense of presence around you. Here's a closer look at what it truly means when she gives you her undivided attention, and why it's a sign worth noticing. She makes you feel like you matter. When she puts her phone away, makes eye contact, and listens without interruptions, showing you that your thoughts, opinions, and presence are important. People don't give this kind of focus to just anyone. It reflects a deep level of respect, the kind that says right now, nothing else is more important than hearing you. It's not dramatic, it's subtle, but you feel it, that quiet, powerful moment of being seen and valued. She's present with you, not just around you. Being in the same space doesn't always mean someone is truly with you, but when she gives you her full attention, she's not thinking about other things or waiting for her turn to speak. She's there emotionally, mentally, and even energetically. She might nod slowly as you talk, pause before she responds, or reflect back something you said. These are all signs that she's not merely hearing you, she's absorbing what you first. She's curious about you genuinely. When someone gives you their undivided attention, they're often driven by genuine curiosity. She's not just being nice, she's interested in you, not just what you do. Maybe she asks thoughtful follow-up questions, remembers little things you've mentioned before, or waits patiently as you find the right words. That kind of curiosity isn't scripted, it's felt. Respects the conversation. Undivided attention is also a mark of mutual respect. It says what you're saying deserves space. I'm not here to dominate, I'm here to understand. Even in silence, you can feel it when someone is truly listening. They give you the grace to be yourself. They don't rush you, they don't fill in the blanks, they just let you be. And that in itself is a rare kind of respect. She's comfortable slowing down with you. In a fast-moving world, it takes intention to slow down and stay in the moment. When she gives you her full attention, she's signaling that she's willing to slow the pace, to be mindful, thoughtful, and present. This kind of presence doesn't feel pressured, it feels calm, easy. You don't feel judged or evaluated, you feel met. She's not distracted by external noise. If you're out in a public setting, a cafe, a social gathering, or even just a busy street, and she still tunes out everything else to focus on you, that's not accidental, that's intentional. She's chosen to prioritize the moment with you over the noise around her that speaks not just to interest but to emotional focus. She's not looking over your shoulder, checking the time, or splitting her attention. She's right there. She mirrors your energy in a grounded way. When someone gives undivided attention, they often mirror emotions, not dramatically but naturally. If you speak softly, she may soften her tone. If you're excited, she might smile more or lean in slightly. This attunement is her way of meeting you where you are. It creates a kind of mutual rhythm, one where conversation feels like a shared space, not a performance. She notices the little things about you. Undivided attention leads to a kind of noticing that's rare. She may remember the way you described your weekend as change in your tone, or a glance you gave that didn't need words. This awareness often shows up later. Maybe she brings up something you forgot. You mention maybe she checks in about something personal. When she remembers the small things, it's because she was actually present when you said them. She's not in a rush to move, and you'll notice that when someone gives you their undivided attention, they're not in a hurry to get somewhere. The conversation isn't transactional. There's no agenda not ticking in the background. She may stay a little longer after the conversation naturally winds down. She may linger in silence, but not awkwardly, just comfortably. This unhurried presence often reveals how much she values your time together. She creates a space where you can be real. Perhaps the greatest gift of undivided attention is how it creates emotional safety. You feel you can speak honestly. You don't have to perform. You don't have to impress. You can just be one. She listens with full presence. It gives you permission to be more of yourself. That's not accidental. That's emotional generosity. That's someone quietly saying, I respect who you are enough to give you all of merit now.